So bringing yourself to sit on your mat or on a chair in a comfortable upright position. A sense of being earthed down through your sit bones. Your pelvis may be able to tilt forward slightly. Upright body, head on top. And when you're ready, bring your awareness to your breath. Allow your breath to flow. You might like to adopt a mudra. This session is designed to support digestive health and stimulate digestion. So if you're having slightly sluggish digestion, it may help to move things. And the gesture we're going to do is called Pushan Mudra, specifically for digestion and assimilation. Our right hand is going to take the thumb to the first two fingers. So the first two fingers are going to touch the thumb, and the last two fingers are separate. The palm is facing up. Then your left hand, the thumb goes to the middle two fingers, and the last finger, little finger, and the first finger are not touched. So as you settle into that gesture, that mudra, which has the benefits of deepening our awareness on all levels of our being, you may find that closing your eyes helps you to become more aware of the sensations and experiences that you have. And taking the mind down to the abdominal area. Perhaps noticing that the breath is slightly more directed towards the midriff, bottom rib area. And this gesture helps to balance the breath. It helps us to be more even in and out. And bring your awareness for a moment towards your stomach. More towards the left side of your body, near the midriff, under the ribs. And below the diaphragm. And the stomach is a vessel that the food goes into. And from there it leaves into the small intestines. And more nutrients are taken out of the food, the drink, in the small intestines. And then it flows further down through all that tubing, the digestive system, made up of smooth muscle, so most of the time we don't feel it, only when there's an irritation or an inflammation. And the bottom right-hand corner of your torso, you find the cecal valve, which lets it through into the ascending colon that goes up the right side of your body, across the top of the abdomen, And then the descending colon, usually down the left side of the body. And joining up with the eliminatory sections of our digestive system. So take a moment to consider whether you are receiving all the goodness from your food. If you're able to assimilate all that you put in, remembering that digestion begins in the mouth. And what about our knowledge, our learning? Are we able to digest and assimilate all our learning? Our body and our mind, our brain need food. Literal food, but also spiritual food and knowledge. And when you're ready, you can release your Kushan Mudra, the hand gesture. Give your fingers a little wiggle if you wish. And draw your palms together at your heart center to Anjali Mudra. And take a moment to consider, what do I have too much of? What do I have too little of? I seek to let go of what I have too much of, and I seek to find and bring in that which I have too little. And through those mechanisms, I find balance and a sense of unity, integrity, harmony, and grace. You might like to set an intention for your session today. It might be around the thoughts of digestion, stimulating that, or some other issue that you have at the moment. Formulate a statement. And say it to yourself 3 times. And then we'll bow our heads to seal our intention. Allow the eyes to open, releasing the hands. And you may like to stretch out your legs if you feel you need to, wiggle your ankles, toes, whatever's needed. And then we're going to come up to stand carefully. So if you need to, rolling onto your knees, tucking your toes under, propelling yourself gently up into your standing position. And you can move out to some objects that are too close to you if you have room to do so, or stand them up to one side out of your way. We're coming into Tadasana, Samasthiti to begin with. Finding the position that's right for our feet, so perhaps a little gap between them. And according to your ankles and knees, whether you require slight turnout to accommodate your knees, that the weight through your feet is feeling equal, to the best of your ability. So there is some weight on the heels, both sides, there's some weight on the outside, some weight on the inside. And the body is settled, comfortably upright without any particular tension, but equally not excessive effort. Our first movements will be forward bending, moving as far as is appropriate for you. We're going to make it a little stronger on the second set that we do. Again, working to your own capacity and where you are today. And if anybody feels that a slight bending of their knees would be appropriate for their body as you do this, that will be appropriate. Another change that you might like to make is what you do with your arms. The stretch is going to be, I'm just moving back a little bit, arms up either side of the head. But if you find that that is too strong for you, then you could either take the arms out to the side, leave them down, or take them up and take them out as you come down. You can choose. So a slightly less strenuous way is to lift them up, and as you come down, they float to the sides and then back up alongside your head as you get down. And then they can come out and up as you come back up. Otherwise, arms can stay here. It's a strong lever, so choose the way you want to do your arms. Our initial movement is breathing in as we lift the arms or come back to standing, and breathing out, taking ourselves down if we are able to with the arms. We're going to do that 4 times. When you're ready, remembering using your breath and bending your knees if you require it. Breathing in, preparing, taking the arms up if it's safe for your shoulders. And as you breathe out, hinging from your hips, folding yourself forwards all the way down. As you breathe in, extend the arms up alongside or out to the side as you come back to stand. I'll show you the other variation of the arms. Breathing out, wide arms if you wish to, and back down alongside your head. Breathing in, lift the arms wide, lift the chest and come all the way back up. So twice 4, whichever way you're doing it. Strong sense of center, feet and strength. And as you breathe out at the end, you can bring your arms back down. That's version 1. And if you find that version 1 is the way you want to stay with it for the moment, you can do. Version 2 is slightly stronger. Obviously, we're working towards the center, towards the abdominals. With this one, same thing. The variation is with the breath and what we do with it. So instead of breathing in, up and coming down, breathing out, we're going to breathe in and stay there to breathe out, moving into our forward bend on the suspended breath. So without breathing in, we fold forwards, gauging through the abdomen, pulling the navel back. Then you breathe in to come all the way back up again, stay up to breathe out, fold while you're holding the breath in. If that's too strong for you, repeat what we've just done. Exhaling down, breathing in, coming up. 4 times. Breathing in. Stay to breathe out. Then fold. Inhale up. Breathe out up. Hold the breath out. Fold. Inhale up. Hold to breathe out. Stay there, breathe out. Now fold as you're holding the breath out. Inhale, long, deep breath. One more time. Checking in. So you may have found that you instinctively engaged more of your abdominals and pulled in and massaged those abdominals as you worked with that suspension of breath to move into the movement. Our next movement involves a twist. Now, as we know that when we forward bend and twist at the same times, if we're not doing it safely and with consideration, we are liable to potentially strain the back. So please work with this one according to your body and only go into the twist that feels right for you. Stepping our legs apart, perhaps the length of your leg between your feet, but as wide as your legs will go. If there's excessive sensation on the outside of your hips, I suggest you've gone too far. There's nothing happening here and nothing happening here. You're fine. You've got room. You can go a little wider if you choose. Feet either parallel or for some maybe slightly turned out. We're going to hinge again from the pelvis, so relatively flat backed as we come forward, and take ourselves, once we've got to halfway, into a twist. Now you can use your arms as you do this to twist, or you can leave the top arm coming onto your lower back. So it would look something like this if you're doing it. Come up to shoulder height, breathe out, go into your twist, breathe in, come all the way back up. But if you want to not have that arm up there, fold and put your hand on your sacrum and look up, and then bring that arm out again as you come back up. So see how it's working for you. All right, are you ready? We're going to do it 3 times. Breathing out, twisting to one side, coming back up, breathing out, twisting to the other side, each side 3 times. When you're ready, take the arms to shoulder height, breathing in. And as you breathe out, fold first and then twist. Inhale as you come back up. Exhale, fold first, then twist. Inhale, come all the way back up. So you slight untwist and then stand. Again. When you've done it 3 times on each side for yourself with your breath, come back to center, lower the arms and pause. Checking in where you are with your body. So we're going to repeat the similar way that we did with the forward bend, but using the twist. So instead of doing it all on the exhale, the suspension rather, we're going to fold, exhale to halfway, and twist as we don't breathe in again. So in the suspension, we'll do the twist. So you'll breathe in, you'll breathe out, hold the breath out, move into your twist. Now, of course, you can hold on to a leg, you can have slight bent knees, whatever you need to do to accommodate your body. Inhaling, arms up or back to body up. Exhaling to halfway-ish. Hold the breath out, twist. In, come all the way up. Exhale to halfway. Hold the breath, twist the other way. 3 times each way. Breathing in, extend and open. As you breathe out, fold halfway. Hold the breath out, twist, holding onto a leg or the floor. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale halfway. Hold the breath out, deep twist, pull the navel back. In all the way up. Continue, twice more each side. Checking in with your body. Check your feet, legs are okay. Carry on. Now we're working into the deepest twist we can find without straining anything and holding it for 3 breaths each side. And when you're ready, breathe in, lift your arms up. Fold to halfway and into your right-handed twist, and then stay for 3 breaths. If you need your top hand on your sacrum, that is fine. If you need to hold on to your leg, do that. After your 3rd exhale, you're breathing in to come back up to center and gently folding as you breathe out and holding your twist to the other side. Walking your legs back in, checking in with your body. How am I? What's going on? Our next asana is working with down face dog and cat. Now, if you have problems with your knees, then you may choose not to do the cat to down face dog, but perhaps a forward bend to down face dog. The way you do that is with in your mat, so you can breathe in, and as you breathe out, you can bend your knees softly and walk your hands away into your down face dog and walk your hands back and come back up. So you could do that way if you chose to, or walk up, walk down, entirely up to you, what works for your knees. Your knees are fine, you can come down onto all fours, placing your hands comfortably underneath your wrists, your armpits. If you need padding for your wrists, what you can do is fold a blanket if you have one, place it in front of you, and your wrists are on the blanket and your fingers are off the edge, so that you're supported under your knuckles with the edge of the blanket and most of your fingers are down. So if your wrists are a little bit iffy today, that's one of the ways you could do that. So we're going to tuck our toes under and feel the body's opening forwards. And then keeping that slight lengthening through the front of the body, breathe in. And as you breathe out, go back into your down face dog. Don't worry about straightening your legs. In, come back down, opening the front of the body. Engage the abdominals as you breathe out. Abdomen to thighs, buttocks towards the ceiling, away from your hands. 2 more. Action, dynamic, breathing in. Pull the shoulder blades back as you push into those hands and send it away through the buttocks. As before, we're now changing the breathing. We're going to breathe in, feel a little opening through the front of the body, and as we breathe out, we stay there. Holding the breath out, we move into our down face dog. And that's going to cause a deep suction effect on your abdomen, potentially going into Uddiyana Bandha. If you have eaten recently, I suggest you do not do that. You continue with what we previously did, because you might cause yourself some discomfort. If you haven't eaten recently, which I'm hoping you haven't, you're lengthening through the front of the body, tucking those toes up, breathe in, breathe out, draw the navel back, and now go into your down face dog. As you breathe in, you come back down. You stay, breathe out, draw the abdominals slightly back. Hold them back as you don't breathe in, you go into your down face dog. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale here. Suspension, move into dog. Coming down when you're ready. And if you're on your knees and it's comfortable, go into child pose. If you're not comfortable on your knees, roll onto your back and hug your knees in. We're going to be on our backs in a moment anyway, so not a problem if that's where you'd be more comfortable. Whichever way up you are, bring your awareness to your back and breathe as deeply as you can. But just before we go into the next pose, if you're able to either kneel up, or if you're lying on your back, maybe roll over and come to sit up. We're going to begin with a bridge sequence, so lying on our back with our feet on the floor, lifting our body up, lowering our body down, again with some breathing practice in order to assimilate and move that abdominal area. After that, we're going to go up into a shoulder stand, if that is appropriate for you. And if it isn't, then these are a few variations that you might like to do. You may want to watch just for a moment. The first thing I'd like to say is, please, if you have your blankets with you, which you are asked to have, then they are required for you to rest your neck and shoulders on for your shoulder stand. So you could put those across your mat, or you could have them nearby. If you don't want to have that feeling while you're doing the bridge, then wait, put them to one side and you can bring them over when you're ready. Some people who have quite stiff necks, they find it helpful to have 2 blankets on top. Now, if you're using 2 blankets, I would suggest that for bridge that's too many. So simply have them ready for your shoulder stand, but over to the side for now. If your neck, shoulders, back, the idea of a shoulder stand is not great for you today, there's 2 alternatives you might want to do. You might want to do waving bamboo, which for those of you who are familiar with it, is sitting with your pelvis near your bolster. If you don't have a bolster, then try the second option I'm going to give you now. And you roll that up underneath your waist, roughly just before your waist. And you have the ability then to release your legs and put them straight up. It doesn't throttle you, doesn't cause you any problems in your throat. That's one option. Coming down, move the bolster out of the way before you come out of it and lie flat. The other option is, as I suggested, you might want a chair. You can either obviously put the chair against something if you feel it's necessary. Another way of securing the chair is to have a belt around the front legs and coming down either side of it. That can give you some grip to make sure it's a bit higher than, obviously at the moment I'll just pull the chair to me. But with this, if I take my legs either side of the chair, I can shift my pelvis up a little bit. If I need to, I can even roll to the side and roll over and get my legs up on that chair. And then I'm ready with my belt around it. If you need to loop the belt around the chair legs more, feet can go onto the chair. And when you feel ready, it's an opportunity to experience shoulder stand. Again, you've got your blankets here. I haven't put them in my way at the moment. And you can take yourself up and down. So we're going to prepare for that through bridge. So put your chairs out of the way if you have them. And we're going to take ourselves lying on our backs, with our feet on the floor, arms alongside us. If you have anything under your head, neck, just make sure it's not very much. Feel the soles of the feet on the earth. A sense of connection through the sides of the body, the back of the body, the arms. And if you wish to, for the first set of 4, you could use your arms going up over your head as well as your body lifting, or you can leave your arms beside your body. So when you're ready, breathe out. As you breathe in, press down through your feet, lift your buttocks, roll. If you're using the arms, take them over your head. And as you breathe out, roll the body down, and arms are coming back beside you. Repeating that 3 more times, 4 altogether. Breathing in, lifting up, breathing out, rolling the spine down. Experience, if you're able to, that pearl sense of one pearl on your spine dropping at a time as you control from the front through the abdominals. And when you've completed the 4 lifts and lowers, pause for a moment where you are. And then we take the next set, which is similar, not quite the same. This time you are using your arms if it's appropriate for you. We'll breathe in and lift the body up with the arms overhead. We'll breathe out and lower the body only. Breathe in, lift the body up. Breathe out, lower the body only 4 times. So when you're ready, breathe in, lift your arms up over the head. As you breathe out, slowly lower that body. Feel the contraction through the front of the body, controlling the levels down. Press down through your feet firmly as you breathe in, send the knees away, lift the chest towards the chin, chin towards the chest. Breathe out, control from the front as you slowly lower that body down. 2 more. Now it's an opportunity as well to intensify that action. If it is appropriate for your abdominals, you'll breathe in, lift the body up just as you did just now. But as you stay up, you'll breathe out and you'll travel back down, holding the breath out, experiencing that deep pulling in through the abdominal cavity. If there's any problems with your digestive system, then please simply do as we just did, lowering on the breath out. So with your arms still overhead if they are, or bring them over your head, breathe in, lift the body up. Stay up as you breathe out. Hold the breath out, lower the body. When you're ready, you breathe in, press down through your feet and lift up. Breathe out up the top. Lower as you hold the breath out. 2 more times. Safe for you. And release the arms. And you may wish to bring the knees in for a moment or send the legs away. Then stretching your legs out, take a moment in Shavasana to experience your body, how you feel. Anything that you're noticing around that abdominal area. Gathering whatever props you're using, so you may want to roll over for a moment to bring yourself up. And perhaps placing your blankets on your mat, so there's a bit of mat above the blankets, and the top of those blankets, if you're using more than one, are level with the bottom of your earlobes, or having your bolster underneath behind your knees if you're using it for waving bamboo, or going up and having the chair in position. So what am I using? What's safe for me? If you're using a chair, you can still use the blankets. Just have the chair ready to pull in as you lie down with the back of your head on the floor and your neck. And draw the chair around. You can rest your feet on it for a moment. If you're able to reach the chair with your arms, you can hold the legs there. Or if you've got your belt and you need that, then you'd use that. For those of you who are able to do the shoulder stand, you can still use the chair. It's quite a useful tool. And I would suggest you bring your feet towards the edge of the chair, tuck your chin in, holding onto the chair firmly, lift your knees up to the sky and feel your back lifting off the floor. And depending on how your body feels, you can play with that. You can have your feet further back, but you won't go so high with your knees, but you can play with that if the knees are an issue. If your knees are very much an issue, I would suggest going into the waving bamboo. If you're able to get quite high, even using the chair, you could release your hands one at a time to support your back, and then gently release your legs into your half shoulder stand. Or walk your hands up your spine towards a full shoulder stand. So decide what you're doing. Don't look at the camera while you're doing this. Look straight up. Those of you in full shoulder stand, if you choose to, as you breathe out, let one knee drop towards your forehead. Breathe in, extend that leg up. As you breathe out, drop the other leg towards your forehead. As you breathe in, stretch it up. If you wish to do that again, then you may find that you can actually walk your hands up a little higher, well, further, nearer your shoulders when you've done that. You might go a little higher. And then when you're ready, you can bend your knees both towards your forehead and let the toes go over the top into snail, plow, or choking pose, dropping your knees either side of your ears. If you're in waving bamboo, you can do a similar thing. On the bolster, pull your knees either side towards your armpits. If this gives you any discomfort in your throat, pounding in your head, please come down. If you're coming down onto a chair, be very aware of it. Make sure you don't bash yourself. And when you're down on your chair, you might be able to push it away just a little bit, let your legs rest on the chair. And then from whichever position you are, taking away your props carefully, maybe rolling over to come to sit up, avoiding the chair or the bolster, whatever you're using. And move those out of your way safely. Move your blankets, if you are using them, out of your way. And then we're coming to lie on our fronts. So if you're happy to do that, lie down on your front in a prone position. Perhaps with your hands one on top of the other, or wrists on top of each other, and your forehead resting down. You may like to start with your feet slightly wider apart in this position, just to allow the body to settle, even rolling the pelvis from side to ease. And drawing your awareness to your breath as you rest here. Let the breath flow. This is a wonderful opportunity to feel the abdomen move when the diaphragm drops down and pushes against it. So as the diaphragm contracts, it pulls down towards the abdomen and it pushes the abdominal organs around, mostly forwards. So it has a massaging effect. Deep breathing has a massaging effect on your digestive system, and that can assist in peristaltic movement, which is the movement that moves the contents of your digestive system around and eventually out. So if you're able to see me, if not, you might want to prop yourself up on an elbow or something. We're going to begin with a practice where the hands are slightly further back from where we might normally have them. So we're not in Sphinx. You may want to bring your legs towards each other. It's quite a dynamic practice. It's quite strong, so I would expect you to need to use the center of your body. When you're doing this, your forehead is going to be down, although you can start with your head to one side. So what we're going to do is, as you breathe breathe out and lift. You stay as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you turn your head to the other side. Stay, breathe in. As you breathe out, you lift. Breathe out. No, that was wrong. I'll try that again. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in here. A little higher if you can. Breathe out the other way. Breathe in. Breathe out, lift. Stay. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn your head the other way. Stay. Breathe in. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, turn the other way. When you next breathe out, lift. Stay, breathe in. Breathe out, turn the other way. So you're doing it 3 or 4 times to each side, depending on your body, your breath. When you've finished, bring your hands back and rest your head, if you wish, on your hands, or leave it turned to one side. We're working with Shalabhasana, the locust, next. You can have your hands underneath your forehead straight, if you choose. For those who wish to, you can place your hands in underneath your abdomen with your forearms resting against your lower abdomen, and perhaps your chin on the floor in front of you. That gives you additional support from your arms because you can press your hands down into the floor. I usually work with my fists and I have them inside of here. Hands can be flat, or you can turn your palms towards the floor. So it's whatever your arms, forearms, elbows find most appropriate. It might depend on your joints. So working accordingly. If that's uncomfortable completely, bring your hands back and rest them under the head, or turn your head to the side if you wish to. When you're ready, if you're on your forearms, checking in, you're going to work your right leg first. So you're going to take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, extend from your mid-waist and lift that leg up. Hold it up as you breathe in and lower it as you breathe out. So you're only moving when you breathe out. Stay breathing in Other side, breathe out. Inhale, exhale, lower. Repeating twice more on each side. Take the arms carefully out when you've finished and rest either with your head to the other side or your hands back underneath your forehead. Now rolling over onto your back and gently bringing your knees onto your chest for a gentle hug. You may want to rock your pelvis from side to side with your knees, or put your hands on your knees and gently circle the legs. Whatever feels good for you. Remember, you can always have your hands behind your knees. We're going to have a practice now with our knees on our chest, moving our arms over our head if the shoulders are fine. And as usual with this, if it is tricky for you to keep your knees on your chest, there's a tendency for the legs to want to go and a straining on your back, then you will use your support, your blanket or your towel or whatever you've got handy. Right. Just get hold of one and prop it up underneath your pelvis. So it depends how much you want. But you can put your feet on the ground, just pop your pelvis on that. You may want it folded slightly higher and pop it under. And what that does is it means your pelvis can be down, but it gives you a bit more tilt of the pelvis and your knees will probably stay on top more easily. There'll be no strain in your back. That's the most important point. So if you need that, please use it. If you don't, you can be flat on your back and you bring your knees onto your chest, hands beside you. You're going to take the legs up as straight as they go to the ceiling, keeping the back of the pelvis as flat on the floor as it can be, engaging and pressing down through the back to keep it there. Arms can go over your head or bend slightly if they need to. Breathe out where you are. As you breathe in, lift the arms, lift the legs, stretch, push the back of the waist down. As you breathe out, arms start first, and then knees come back onto chest. 2 more times, breathing in, push those heels up, sit bones down, arms over your head. Pull yourself together in the middle as you breathe out. As before, we're changing the breathing here. We're going to breathe in and lift the arms and the legs. We're going to stay there as we breathe out. Pressing back down, holding strongly. Then we'll breathe in and we'll return to start on the next exhale. So there'll be one exhale in the middle that we're just staying and a breath in to get us back. So breathing in when you're ready. Hold there, breathe out, push the floor, feel those abdominals draw back. Inhale when you're ready. And when you breathe out, coming back to your start. 2 more times. Breathing in. Stay, breathe out, pull down to the floor. Push through those heels. In to be there. Out to come back. 1 more. Releasing the legs when you're ready and letting go. Rolling yourself over or rolling yourself up. Coming up to sit. You can sit long ways on your mat. Legs out, whichever way is appropriate for you. Our next asana is Ardha Matsyendrasana, the half twist. And there are a few variations you can have with your legs. If you need a little support for your pelvis, you can pop that folded blanket back up underneath your sit bones. Those who are able to bring their legs either side of them can fold their legs under. So you've either got your left leg straight, you're working with the right leg first. The left leg can stay straight, and you can bend the right leg and step it over. Or you can bring your left foot up alongside your right hip and bring the right leg over. So whichever way you work best, it's either straight, sitting balanced, or bring it up if you're able to. And because the right leg is up, and we want to do a deep closing twist, we're working with the digestive system, we're going to turn to the right. So the right leg up, turning to the right. And as you do this, as you work, think about allowing the body to stay centered and tall, so sitting down, and that spiraling effect of the rotation as we go into the twist. That we can start with the bottom ribs, then the mid ribs, then the shoulders, then the throat, then the head, subject to where yours goes to. So firm base. If your buttocks are not both down, please release that other leg. Sitting yourself tall. You may want to take some of your abundance out to the right before you begin. And then as you breathe in, feel yourself grow tall. Begin with the bottom ribs rotating to the right, then the chest rotating to the right, then the shoulders rotating to the right, and finally the head and the neck. We're staying here for 8 breaths. Your breaths, 8 breaths. As you hold the pose and you breathe, you may find that you're able to draw the abdominals back and potentially, as you carry on, move a little deeper as the body invites. Release on an exhale if you can. Come back to center. Release the legs gently. Pause in the middle. And then find out what's going to happen the other way. Can I stick the right leg on the left? Can I bring the left foot over? Or am I better with the leg straight? whatever works for you. We need to sit up a little higher on a block or a folded blanket. Then I'm growing tall as I breathe in. I may take some abundance out to the side, and I move the ribs, and then the chest, and then the shoulders, and finally the throat and head. 8 breaths. And twisting yourself after your 8 breaths. Pausing in the center. And we're taking ourselves into a mudra, a full body mudra, Maha Mudra. We use the legs, we use the breath, we use the spine, and we engage. So I'll show you how it's done initially. We're going to bring the left leg up, leave the right leg straight, starting on the right side. And we want to be facing, so if your foot doesn't easily come up and it shifts everything around, I would suggest you have your foot slightly lower down your leg. The right foot, toes are up towards the sky, knee up to sky, whatever you need. If you need padding underneath your knee, please put something underneath your knee. Draw the sit bones out behind you. If you find it tricky to go forward at all, it's not a problem. Our main aim here is to stay as straight as we can from coccyx to crown. So as we hold this pose, we want to hinge only from the hips. So if you don't go forward very far, and your hands are just by your knee or wherever they might be, that is absolutely fine. We'll begin with folding forwards completely, and we'll come back into Maha Mudra. So we start with Janushirasana, which is forehead to knee, and we come back into it. So as you come back into it, you're drawing and sucking in through the front and going upwards. When you breathe in, think of extending down through this tail in the earth and up through the crown of the head to the sky. And when you breathe out, draw the belly back and feel that connection through the center of your body. So it looks, as you come down, you fold gently, and then you lift yourself up to a straight body and tuck your chin in. And imagine you've got a giant safety pin around through the base and coming up through the front. And you know, a safety pin has that head bit, an old-fashioned safety pin. And you're hooking that in. So you've got a complete safety pin around you. So you're going to lift up here, and we're going to hold for 6 breaths on each side. So if you want to begin by folding into a rounded back position, comfortably wherever you are over your head, and you can place your hands, if you wish to, one on top of the other. And then draw your chest back and up away from your pelvis. We're not sitting straight up, we have a slight lean, but we want to extend through the back of the head, have the throat drawn back into Jalandhara Bandha, and we're breathing. As you breathe in, feel an extension up through the top and bottom of your torso. As you breathe out, pulling in through those abdominals strongly. Inhale, top and bottom. Exhale, center. Deep, wonderful breaths. Ujjayi if you wish to. You may feel a connection to your pelvic muscles as you breathe out. After your 6th breath out, pulling the abdominals back, fold yourself gently forwards again. Take a few breaths. And then you can peel yourself up to sit. Slide the left leg away. Take a moment. So if you are working really well, you may have felt that connection through here. An extension through the top and bottom and a serious massaging effect going on in the abdominals, and possibly even that connection with your pelvic muscles. And as you breathe down, pull the abdominals back, there's this drawing up through the pelvic muscles. Taking yourself to the other side. Rearranging that sit bone if you wish to, need to. Having that leg foot wherever is appropriate for you. And of course you can always pad up that knee if you need to. When you're ready, breathe in. Think about that chin tucking before you start and fold yourself down. All the way. As you breathe in, lift through the crown of the head, not the chin, and draw your back into as straight a line as you can. Feel that connection through the crown of your head down to your tail. As you breathe out, pulling that navel abdominals back and maybe engaging those pelvic muscles. Inhale, up, bottom and top. Down through the pelvis, up through the head. Breathe out, abdominal contraction. 4 more breaths. Keep working the pose all the time. After your 6th breath, you can fold yourself forward and rest once again. So from the side, it's about keeping that body straight. It's not about rounding down. It's different from having a forward bend. Sometimes it can be helpful, and we're not doing it again, don't worry, to think of a broom handle against your spine and you're simply folding with the broom handle. That can be a useful tool to work in. Coming to lie on your backs now, using any padding you need under your head. And bringing your knees into your chest. Hug your knees. Relaxing there. And then you may be happy to do Apanasana. So you remember bringing your knees in. You can have your hands behind your knees or on your knees. As you breathe in, you let the legs move away. And as you breathe out, pull them in. You breathe in and you breathe out. It's a nice gentle massage on your lower back, easing out. You might find that as you take a long, deep breath in, your exhale really helps you to pull those legs in. Really gives you that sense of connection in your abdominals. And then letting the legs go, perhaps stretching away or leaving the feet on the floor, the knees bent. As you take yourself for a moment into your Shavasana, And you find your breath. And you face the ceiling. The back of the neck's long on support if you need it. Give yourself a wriggle and a wiggle if it's necessary, and then notice what you find. Perhaps particularly taking your awareness to your abdominal area and any changes that may have taken place there. And soften the shoulders and the back of the neck, the jaw. Roll your body. Bring the knees in, rolling over gently. You can hug your legs to do that. Gently press yourself up. Either taking yourself onto your chair if you choose, or bringing back your bolster or your blocks to come to sit. Cross-legged, kneeling, whatever feels appropriate for you. You can always use padding underneath any parts of your body that need a little more support. We're ending where we began with our Pushan Mudra, gesture of digestion. And we're going to add to it a sound. So the sound is Ram. Ram vibrates with this center of the body. So if you're able to, you're going to bring the right hand, first 2 fingers to the thumb, left hand, the middle 2 fingers of the thumb. So you've got fingers 1 and 2 touching the thumb on the right hand, 2 and 3 touching on the left hand. Sitting comfortably tall in whichever position you've chosen, whether you're kneeling, sitting, or on your chair. And you allow your breath to flow. As you make your sound, let it be as long and comfortably as you can, and allow the breath to flow in as deep and wide as is possible. The sound we're making is Ram, long A. When you're ready, take a deep breath in, Ram out. Ram. Ram, 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 ram. Ram, 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 ram. Ram, 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 ram. Releasing your mudra. Bringing your palms together to Anjali Mudra. Take a moment to experience the vibrations. And send yourself a message of unconditional love. Ariam Tat Sat. Namaste.